And hello and welcome back to another video. Anime Diana here, and we are doing a new what if, and we are doing what if Asta had magic and anti-magic. And no, he's not going to start off with anti-magic. He's going to have two grimoires. I know that's crazy. And there's going to be, let's say, two 4-leaf clovers, because that's what he's going to get. He's going to get a 4-leaf clover and the black clover, the 5-leaf clover. I'm actually pretty excited for this. So, you see the thumbnail? Looking pretty clean. Looking pretty clean. And yes, it's still going to have the same magic, and it's going to be strong. And it's going to have the 4-leaf clover too. Like I said, there's going to be two ones that they have. So yeah. And Asta's magic from his grimoire and his original magic is going to be fire. And when he gets his 4-leaf clover grimoire, it's going to increase his fire by a lot. Because I'm pretty sure it can have a fire thing in there. So whatever. It's going to have fire. And he's going to get his 5-leaf clover later on. Okay, I'll tell you about it. Alright, so hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and play my intro. In the description for my friend who made my intro. His YouTube and his Instagram is down there, so I need you to subscribe and follow. So yeah, go ahead, go down there real quick, subscribe and follow, and subscribe to me too. Hit that notification bell, hit that like button. Well, let's get into it. So we ran off to two farmers using magic to farm their ground. One uses water to throw up, like water magic, and throws the water in the air, causing little raindrops to pop on all over the field. And then there's one just using a hoe to, dig in the ground. Not like that kind of hoe, but like a hoe, the gardening tool. And then they hear, "Oh, marry me, Sister Lily." And then he says, "What's that?" He says, "Oh, it's Asta going at it again." Man, that kid's super cool, but he's really, really loud. He has the same exact personality, but he has magic, so he's real. And yes, he still works out because he thinks it's not enough to have just magic. And yeah, he's gonna be buff like this, bro. You see my boy, bro? He hit that gym hard, bro. Not the gym, of course, but yeah, you know what I mean. So yeah, and his over his sister is like, "I can't marry you. Sorry, Asta," he says. And Asta's like, "I won't give up, Sister Lily." And then she says, "No." She does her magic water thing, and then Asta says, "No." And then he makes his fire, and it disintegrates all of her water magic. And then he's like, "Okay, you went too far, Sister Lily," Asta says. And she says, "Oh, I'm sorry. Wow, Asta, your magic has gone so strong." Because Asta's magic is like, how Yuno's wind magic is super duper strong? Yeah, Asta's magic is like that. It's just fire. And yes, Asta's going to be from a special family too. So yeah. Let's get back into it. And yes, Asta and Yuno are still the same exact age. And I forgot to go to the whole adopted part where they put him at the church. But yeah, the same thing happened pretty much. But Asta has fire magic, and has pretty much wind magic. And Yuna says, and then Yuna comes up to Asta, says, "Asta, you can't marry her, right? She's a woman of the I forgot what it's called. My bad. She's married to the Lord, pretty much. That's what he said, right? Yeah." And then and he says, "I won't give up though. And I can't wait to get my grimoires. How about you, And he puts his fist out for the fist bump, and then actually fist bumps him back. He said, "Yeah, my eternal rival," because they're actually rivals. Well, they've been rivals, but respects Asta more than he did in the original, because in the original Asta didn't have any magic, and he said, "Nah, not gonna be nothing." And they had the same backstory where they all they both wanted to become the Wizard King, And used to be a punk, but also was not playing no good. Bro was squaring up everybody. He was ooh, pop, pop, ooh, bro. He was knocking people out. And Asta had his fire magic too since he was a baby. Caused the quirk, which caused the church a lot of problems, like a lot. Instead of got his magic like when he was like 8 or 9 or something. I forgot his age. Yeah, but Asta Ben had his magic since he was born, because he's from a special family. So yeah, now they say, our grimoires come. It's time for us to get our grimoires in about 5 months. We're finally 15. And about like a few months, like a little while after that's the magic night exam. And, I have to pass in order to become the Wizard King. Says, not if I become one. Not if I become the Lizard King. I said Cling. And then Asta says, bet my life. And then the little kid comes out. He says, Asta, there's no way you guys can become a Wizard King. We're from the boonies. The same one that would be like Asta. There's no way. You're useless. You have no magic. I still like that kid. I don't know why, but I like that kid. I don't care if he be so messed up. I like him. Because later on in the story, you'll know why. Because in this one, he looks up to both of Asta and but he kind of doesn't have that attitude to become he doesn't want to be a magic knight for some reason. So, because he just thinks that since he's from the boonies, he can't do nothing. He's poor. Poor people can't do nothing. Yeah, but Asta and they train together and they're pretty much at equal strength. But Asta is still a little stronger than because his fire is so powerful, and he had it since he was a little child. So yeah, he has more control over it. So yeah, about let's say months pass, and it's time for them to get their grimoire. Asta says to I'm gonna get the best grimoire ever, right? Says, if you get the best, I'll get the same. We'll be equal. He says, I don't know about that. Asta says, I'll be the best. They go, because Asta a little more cocky, but he was still cocky in the original, even though he didn't have magic. So yeah, but he's loud. He's still loud. He's like, Sister Lily, and yeah. So they put their hand up in the thing, and then there's 2 4-leaf clovers, and everybody's astonished by this because they're glowing with light. And then everybody's just looking and one of them is orange, and the other one is the same as in the original. And they each one falls into Asta's hand, the orangest one, meaning fire, and the windish one, the lighter one, and the windish one meaning for wind and Yana and for And then the dude just looks at them and is like, 2 4-leaf clovers. We've gotten 1 to somebody, but never 2 at the same time. And the last one to get one was the first Wizard King, right? He was the first Wizard King, right? Yeah, the first Wizard King. And then Asta and are just so excited, and they see, still that little quietness bum. He's not, I'm not just kidding, not bum. He's still so quiet. He's like, I will beat you, Asta. Asta says, no way. We really got 2 4-leaf clovers. This is crazy. Plot armor be like, no, I'm just kidding. Yes. No, I'm not kidding, but yeah. So after that, Asta and are walking through the space. And these 2 little, rich kids say, hey, you 2. I'm gonna take you guys out for outshining me in the grimoire thing. I forgot what it's called, acceptance or whatever. And then he puts my fire magic up, and Asta he could control fire without his grimoire. He didn't even use his grimoire. He just take that fire out real quick. That fire didn't do nothing. And then he blasted his own fire at the dude. And then the chain guy comes and locks those dudes up. And Asta is like, oh my bad. Asta's getting a little cocky, too. So, got caught in his thing without using his grimoire, because they didn't use the grimoire. And this dude is strong because he's using his grimoire, okay? Because, grimoire boosted your magic ability and give you special spells. So, yeah. And the reason why, for those of you thinking, why was Asta? And yes, Asta has the same hair, and he's a little taller. Okay, he's not super short, but he's the same height. And the reason why he was banished from his family is because the mom wasn't really strong, so they thought that Asta would be weak because of that. But yeah, let's get back in the story. And Asta got caught, and then the dude says, I'll take your grimoire. You know, my Sally. I don't know who has the second one, because Asta didn't tell nobody that he had the second one. Even though he's that dude, he would tell anybody, but he just didn't. And Asta did, though. Well, of course, Asta got like more like thing, because people saw him. And Asta hid his real quick, because he didn't want nobody seeing it. And then says thank you. And then Asta, it's just like his grimoire, since he's new to it, it won't really. Actually, no, like, he tries to using his grimoire, and the dude says, the second 4-leaf clover. And he takes both of them, and as he's, like, about to kill Asta, he's like beating him up, of course, like, like in original. And then the 5th leaf clover comes, and then, looks at him, it's like 2 clovers. And it comes, and he grabs the sword out of the thing. His eyes all lit up, and he's just, goes back to the manga, bro. That scene was so epic. I don't care what you say, because it went back to the manga, and he went through those chains and everything, and beat that dude up, knocked him out, and they went away him. And yes, Asta got a second grimoire, and he had to tell the dude. And he says, "We've never seen, the old dude with the grimoires." And he said, "He never seen something like this, and this grimoire. Pretty dangerous," he says to himself, because he knows about it, I guess. And yeah, so he practices with both, but Asta's kind of confused, because what the heck, where did this thing come from? Like, everybody in the village is so confused, and they all crowd over Asta. It's like, so you, Asta, have the 4-leaf and the 5th and another. Now they're not gonna say 5th leaf because they don't know. And another grimoire. Looks pretty dirty and dusty, though. See? Because that's how it did in this room. Probably is nowhere near as good as the 4-leaf. But hey, Asta and they can definitely become magic knights. With their magic and their grimoires, they're both special. It's like they were meant to be raised together. Alright, so yeah. They train with their grimoires, blah, blah, blah. And they each only learn about 2 spells, and one of the spells Asta learns in his grimoire, of course, is how to make he makes this water dragon. I mean this water dragon. Did I say water? He's fire dragon, and the dragon is like how Noelle's move is, where she does the water dragon. He could do that, but it's made of fire, and he doesn't use a wand because he doesn't need one. And then his other one is basically this just giant fireball. Humongous. Ace versus Blackbeard, bro. That's how big the fireball was. There we go. Ace versus Blackbeard in the One Piece. If you've seen it, it's this giant fireball he makes with his hand. Ace does, and it almost rivals Blackbeard's fruit and power. So yeah, let's get back in the show. So that's all he knows pretty much so far. And yes, he knows how to use Monozone. Only a little bit, like Monoskin, where you put skin around. He only knows how to do that a tiny bit. And same thing with he knows. Well, he's not a dragon with this one. He knows how to do a tornado, and he knows how to do arrows made of wind. So yeah, that's his power right there. And he could do Monoskin because Asta and him did it together while they were fighting. So now it's time for the exams. So first they test out flying on brooms. Asta and both doing that little stand on thing, They just chilling, they standing up, no grimoire, nothing. They don't need none of that. They just on it, just standing up. Chilling, and everybody sees it, they all whoa. No, I'm just kidding, the people, the Magic Knight teachers, the leaders are pretty excited. Alright, hold up. Sorry about that. I had to go do something real quick. Alright, let's get back in that video. So yeah, they pretty much really doing really great so far, and they test their magic ability. They're super duper good at that. Austin, they pretty much do perfect on everything. and now it's time for the fighting. So this one really strong dude tries to get. Well, he's not really strong, but he thinks he's really strong. But he is really strong for some people. And he goes against claps, like claps. He just claps the dude easily. Tornado. Not no tornado. He doesn't even use his grimoire. Same thing with Asta. Asta claps. No grimoire. He doesn't even use his sword. Out of his he doesn't even use his this grimoire. And yes, Asta still only has one sword. And that's all. He only knows how to use his sword, and that it's like anti-magic for his black for his 5th leaf clover. And he actually likes both of his clovers equally. So yeah. So he pretty much does that. And yeah. So and then it's time for them to get accepted. And Asta it's time for Yuno's turn, and everybody raises their hand for and then he gets accepted, and he chooses Golden Dawn. She says, and then it's Asta's turn. Everybody raises their hand, but Asta says to himself, "Black Bulls" out loud. He says "Black Bulls" out loud, and everybody's confused. Like, it's the worst team. Why would you pick it when you have everybody else? And he said, in his mind he said, well, if I want to become the Wizard King, I'm gonna make the worst guild the strongest. The worst magic knight and the strongest. Me. I'm gonna even become stronger than the captain. Be the next captain of the Black Bulls. I'm gonna make our reputation the best. We're gonna become the best. And knows what he's thinking, and said, "Oh, I should have done that. Dang it." And yeah. Well, he's not really mad because he's still going to Golden Dawn, the best one. Golden Dawn. And then when I forgot what they call it, like the fire ones, the Leo or whatever they call it. I forgot what it's called. Leave me alone. And then they saw this and it was like such fire power. They wanted him there, but he chose Black Bulls. So makes it, and everybody when he goes there, his like leader, the one dude that uses like the metal magic or whatever, the steel magic, says, "Hey, you little brat from the boonies, I hope you don't think too high of yourself. It's because I'll tell you this right now, you're not better than any of us here." Because at first he was like really mean, like messed up. Yeah. So yeah. Next is pretty much we're gonna go to Asta's perspective, and Asta goes in and he says, and then Yami says, "I don't know why you picked us. Must have been for a good reason, but we are the worst crew here." Asta says, "No matter. Me and this team, all of us could become great. We'll become the greatest magic knight squad with all of us if we work together." With his high upbeat voice, he's like, "Yeah, we will do this. We will do it together." And Yami grabs his head. He's like, "Shut up, brat," and throws him inside through the portal. And then yeah, he sees everybody, and they're just all going crazy. And everybody's like, "Oh wow, we got a new kid, a new student, or whatever." You know what I mean? And everybody's pretty much excited. I was excited for new one. So Magnus, Luck, all of them. And Gray, because Gray. I forgot some of their name. Finroll. I forgot some of their name. I'm sorry, bro. Charmy. And Charmy goes to Asta real quick. He's like, "What kind of food do you like? What kind of food do you like?" And then Asta says, "Cupcakes, chicken, meat, steak." And they just pretty much talk. And Magnus challenges Asta and says, "If you can blast my thing or defeat me or defeat this bat, the same thing as an original, with the bat and his fire, because Magnus does. He's this bat, and he makes this bat made of fire and this ball made of fire, and he blasts at people, and it actually it does pretty good damage." So then Magnus says to Asta, "If you do this, you'll be accepted in the Black Bulls. If not, you gotta go home. So he shoots it at him, and Asta just dispels the fire, even the bat, and it's just out of his hand. And Magnus tries to activate it, and Asta said, "You might as well stop." He's like, "Just stop. I have control over flames, and I have fire magic, so I can make flames and control over them." Asta says, "Well," then Magnus says, "Well, you have to hit it away, any way you can." And Asta's like, "Maybe I should make a metal bat, just like him." And he's like, "Nah, here, let me use my other grimoire." And then Yami sees it. It's like, "Wait, kid, where'd you get that grimoire from?" She says, "I have two. I'm special." Not special ed, but I'm special. And Yami says, "Crazy. He could have went to any one he wanted to, but he chose us. And he has two grimoires. Wow, this kid is different. You know, he built different, right?" And yeah, so he basically hits that away real quick. No effort. No effort, not hard at all with the thing, and it actually almost kills Magnus, but you know, Asta dispels it right before it hits his face. And Magnus is just like in his mind, he's like, "Oh my gosh, that kid killed me." Yeah. Everybody sees it and claps and gives Asta his shirt for all with the Black Bull on it, like the little cape thing. So yeah. And I think this is where I'm gonna end the video. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and peace out.